Every time Apple releases a new gadget, it's the hottest thing on the market. I've got the iPhone 4. I love it. Not everybody feels the same way. But the biggest worm biting Apple is their own handling of the situation. Apple says they'll issue a software update, but it's the hardware that's the problem. Some are saying if they don't get in front of this, a recall is inevitable. And we all know what recalls did to Toyota, so here are your questions. Should Apple recall the new iPhone? And if they did, what kind of bite would that take out of Apple's image, Charlotte?
Well, I think it would help their image, because I think that the most important thing to do when you have this kind of a disaster is you've got to tackle it straight on. And they should learn their lesson from Toyota, who had to recall all the vehicles and who wanted to sweep it under the rug. They should look at BP and Obama and how they didn't tackle it straight on. Obama wanted to sweep it under the rug and not look at it, and now his poll ratings have gone down. Or any politician from the past who's lied and tried to cover up. It doesn't work. Their image is the most important thing. And if they continue to just kind of string everybody along and not make the consumer whole, their image is going to be hurt. Plus, they're going to end up with a class action suit. And in the long run, it's going to be a disaster for them. So they need to say, this is our mission. We're going to make everybody whole. We're going to take care of this. And they have money in the bank. They're a very solvent company, and people know that. So they have the money to take care of this problem.
Well, David, here's the issue, though. I mean, if you're Apple and you control the marketplace and you're always on the cutting edge of technology, do you say, hey, you know what? It works just fine. We've tested it. You live with it. Case closed.
Yeah, but you know what? Everyone who has one knows that's not the case. And that's the whole problem, is part of Apple's cachet is the cool, hip, techie factor. And these people are very technologically savvy. You can't tell them it works when it doesn't work because they know it doesn't work. So I actually agree with Charlotte. This is one of those things where PR 101, you got to hit the problem head on. And if they don't, they're just going to tick off their consumers who are tech savvy and who like to have the cool gadget that works.
So what are you suggesting?
They do not like to have a $400 gadget that doesn't work well.
All right, let me ask you. So are you suggesting Apple come out and say, look, we know there's a problem. The antenna is not in the proper place. People are dropping calls. Therefore, we're producing new ones. The antenna will be in the correct place. Everybody bring it back, and we'll give you a new one.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm suggesting. Yes, I agree with Charlotte. I mean, because if you keep trying to sweep it under the carpet, it's just going to get worse. It's like the stink in the litter box. You got to get it out of there, okay? You know, you can't keep covering it up. It's not going to work.
Well, we'll see what Apple does, because they've got a problem on their hands. Now, for the last 2 days on every talk show, Mel Gibson, Mel Gibson, Mel Gibson. Everybody has been talking about the alleged recordings on the actor threatening, berating, and screaming at his ex-girlfriend. And here's a portion of one of those recordings.
What kind of man is that? Hitting a woman when she's holding a child in her hand, breaking her teeth twice in the face. What kind of man is that?
Oh, you're all angry now.
You're gonna get to, you know what? You're gonna answer one day, boy, you're gonna answer.
Huh?
Bet.
What? What are you threatening
Nothing,
me?
nothing. I'm not the one to threaten.
I'm threatening. I'll put you in a rose garden, you. You understand that? Because I'm capable of it. You understand that? Get a training order.
The third tape was released this morning. Gibson's been called a racist before, and he'll probably never escape that title after this. But over the last 2 days on The View, friend and fellow actor Whoopi Goldberg came to his defense.
I don't like what he did here, but I know Mel, and I know he's not a racist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. He may be a bonehead.
Well, that
You know,
language certainly sounded racist
you know
to me.
what? Well, again, I have had a long friendship with Mel. I just want to clear
point
make
that I
this
wanna
really
make
clear.
out
Let
that-
me finish
okay,
this,
okay.
please. Is that you can say he's being an bonehead, but I can't sit and say that he's a racist having spent time with him in my house with my kids. I can't say it.
Whoopi says he's not a racist after repeated incidents and after these alleged recordings. Does Mel Gibson deserve a chance to earn forgiveness from the public, or has he simply gone too far? David.
Well, you know, has he gone too far? I think time remains to be seen on that. I mean, I think it really depends. His image and his success in rehab is really going to depend entirely on whether or not he's charged criminally. I mean, that's just going to be the final death knell, I think, in his coffin, is if he's charged. But, you know, the whole Whoopi thing is intriguing to me because, okay, she's black, she's his friend, I'm not his friend, so, you know, on the one hand, you got to say, well, I mean, she knows him, so you got to kind of take her on her word on that. But I guess what I kind of wonder about this is, well, then what exactly is the definition of racism? You can be nice to black people, but you can call them names that they find offensive, and I'm sorry, I think that's racist. So, you know, I don't know, maybe Whoopi and I just have a different opinion on what racism is, but, you know, she's got a tough sell on this one because, you know, you listen to those tapes and he takes out everybody.
Yep.
You know, he really does, and he's done this before.
Charlotte, what do you think?
Well, I disagree with what you said about that would be the nail in his coffin if he's indicted criminally, because Tom Sizemore is an actor who's been convicted of domestic violence, and he's done 52 roles since then. I think that our country,
how many of them were big?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I will say that our country is very forgiving, and I think there are some people that are going to boycott his films in the future, and maybe a lot of people will. It's very hard to know. But some people now, it depends on where your line is. If you feel this is racist, which to me it is racist, but sometimes people are not really racist, but they talk in this sort of a way. And that's probably what Whoopi is trying to say.
Well, are you saying that he's speaking in non-politically correct terms, but not racist?
Yeah, I suppose I would say that. I would say that I've known people who are not racist, in my opinion, as people, but they are very lax in their language. They say things that just, they're not really careful about what they say when they're private, and it would sound racist to someone who didn't know them. And I think that's what Whoopi is trying to say.
Well, can I just say one last thing, too?
Sure.
The biggest thing I have with all of this, every time he comes out and does this, does anybody else have a problem with the abject hypocrisy? This is the man who put out the Passion of the Christ. He's supposed to be a good Catholic boy. And every time he opens his mouth when he's ticked, he says this amazing stuff. It's like, dude, these two do not jive.
And with that, dude, these two do not jive. I'll thank you both. David, Charlotte, nice job tonight. All right, in 60 seconds, we're going to find out what's inside the box.
If you're so smart, prove it. Contact NBC Filter on Twitter or Facebook, or send an email to thefilter@nbcuni.com. We care what you think, but if we don't like it, we'll filter you.